Just wrapping things up here at Charlotte High School. It's the Division IV state quarterfinals for the Bellevue Broncos. Unfortunately, falling tonight to a perennial powerhouse in the defenders of Wyoming Tri-Unity Christian. Final score was 62-31.
Yeah, they just gave them fits all night. Honestly, what we kind of saw happen tonight to Bellevue is what we saw Bellevue do to Pittsford to advance to this game in the regionals against Pittsford last week. Just getting them out of sorts and causing them to make a lot of mistakes, and that's what Tri-Unity Christian did to Bellevue tonight. The Broncos just had way too many mistakes early and often, and kind of led to an unraveling very early in this game.
They did have a 5-4 lead, but then the defenders would put together an 11-2 run to end the first quarter. It continued all the way into the second quarter. There was even a 4-minute stretch where both teams didn't even score, and that eventual run ended up being 16-4. By then, the Broncos were trailing by 20 points, and they were down 31-11 at the half.
Yeah, it was a tough go tonight for Bellevue Broncos. We saw them kind of chip away a little bit in the third quarter, but every time it seemed like they started to come up with any kind of answer, even a little one in this game, Tri-Unity Christian got right back on the horse and shut it down, and that's what we saw play again in the fourth quarter. By that point, we were seeing a lot of the backups and some of the call-ups from JV, who got a chance to play and got some good experience. But this one was just a good old-fashioned butt-kicking.
Yep, and unfortunately for the Broncos, they end their season at 24-2, but they cannot hang their heads low because they picked up their first regional championship in school history last week. So to make it to the state quarterfinals, just an icing on the cake.
It was, and they should feel really good about that. They should not remember so much what happened here, but think about what happened Thursday in Fowler. You know, kind of let that be the memory that you let live on, and look at that hardware in the trophy case when they get back home at Bellevue. A lot to be proud of, and a lot to build on, and we'll see where it goes from here for Bellevue in the coming years.
Yep, a couple of seniors leading the way for the Broncos tonight. It was Wyatt Waterbury with 11 points, 8 of those in the first quarter. It was all 8 points for the Broncos. Gino Costello with 8 points, with the only 3 points in the second quarter for the Broncos. And then for Wyoming Tri-Unity Christian, 18 points led the way for all scorers. It was Bennett Sinner who is the leading scorer for the defenders at 12.3 a game.
Yep, and one thing too that we can't overstate enough was how well the Bellevue faithful were showing up here tonight. Not too far of a drive, so it wasn't a challenge there, but boy, this place was packed. And a lot of them stayed to the end, even though they knew what the outcome was going to be. So very nice to see from their fans. And again, hopefully something Bellevue can build on, their team anyway, next year. And Tri-Unity Christian, very well-deserved effort, and they will advance to East Lansing to the Breslin Center to play in the semifinals.
Yep, Tri-Unity now 22-3 on the season, and they will see Frankfurt in the state semifinals. They won in overtime over Big Rapids Crossroads Academy. On the other end of the bracket, it is Dollar Bay who upset Pellston, who is a state-ranked team, at number 7. But now they run into the defending champs in Southfield Christian, who won by 30 tonight, 74-44 over Genesee Christian. So very good chance that we will maybe see a rematch between Southfield Christian and Tri-Unity Christian in the final. That's coming up Saturday at 10 o'clock. But as mentioned, Bellevue falling tonight 62-31 final score, and 24-2 their final record.
24-2, that's not something to feel bad about. Only 2 losses on the entire season, and when you get this far into the playoffs, a lot of teams' season's going to end with a loss other than one. Yep. So Bellevue, a lot to feel good about.
And that will do it for our high school basketball coverage this year. Of course, we're done with our high school broadcast for this season. And get ready for football season. It looks like our first game will be coming up on Thursday, August 29th. It is the Thursday before Labor Day this year. And a little bit of a different change from the first couple of weeks like we've had the last couple of years. So we're getting ready for that. And, of course, we'll have some more other high school events taking place in the spring. We'll try to recap those as much as possible on 95.3 WBCK and 953WBCK.com.
Absolutely, and thanks everyone who's joined us all season long. We appreciate the support, and after a nice lengthy spring and fall season, because we deserve it. This has been a heck of a winter.
Yes.
We'll see you in the fall for football.
Sounds good, and we'll see you then next time. Once again, final score, Wyoming Tri-Unity over Bellevue by a score of 62-31.